Good evening, everyone. It is June 22nd, 2023, and the market is just closed, and everything is fresh in my brain, so I thought I'd go ahead and make this now. Now, what did we have today? Well, coming into the day, what I was looking for was if we managed to break the overnight high, in my opinion, that would, or statistically speaking, that would mean the likelihood of breaking the overnight low was lower, and we would likely start to hold this major 4405-ish support, which was our yesterday's low, this kind of '06 down to '04 area, '03, whatever you want to call it. And that's what we had. We did not manage to break the overnight low. We held it by a couple ticks. We instead broke the overnight high here. And then we did end up holding that '03-ish area, and we ramped up to where we trapped some sellers during yesterday's breakout around 22. And we had those sellers come out, and then we ramped into the close, which was a productive close for buyers. Now, I'd been saying that I was looking for a move down towards 43.27.5 by the end of the month. That is going to be negated. And it was from, I think, yesterday morning or yesterday's close, I can't remember, but I was saying that breaking today's overnight high would negate, maybe I said it this morning, I guess, breaking the overnight high would negate that thesis. And the idea being is that now we're running into a squeeze scenario where we break settlement highs, we break these highs around 35, 37-ish, this kind of swing high, 39-ish, to the point of control and weekly open around 33. We start to break that and we get into the gap around 51, but really I think we start testing this 58, this sort of zone here, this 58 to 61 number. If the thing really has juice, which I doubt it, if it really has juice, we'll come up to 77s or 84s, which I doubt we get tomorrow. Same thing on the Nasdaq. 216s have been the major number to watch. You can see it sold off there a couple times. I think that was during FOMC, but this has been the major spot that I've been watching, kind of 210 to 230-ish, and that's where we are having both our settlement highs and now today's highs, and we closed up there. So both tickers to me looking like they're ready to squeeze, both tickers closing with very high deltas, monthly point of control on the ES shifting up, close to monthly VWAP, so not looking at this as distribution, instead looking at it as continuation to the upside. So if we just zoom out here and take a higher time frame look, there we go, you can see that we are breaking this momentum line downwards, we are holding this momentum line upwards. Same thing on the Nasdaq. There we go, what was holding a support turned into resistance a couple times, and now we're back above this momentum as well. So by all means, we are breaking the downwards momentum, and we're getting that upward lift. So all this is going to be dependent on what happens overnight coming into tomorrow. Now, ideally, what would I want to see? Ideally, I don't really want to see us trade much below 15 during this overnight session. More like 17 to 18, which was that huge resistance all day. Get a gap up into that 30s resistance area, hold that kind of 17 to 18 area in the initial balance, and then we can start ramping upwards, holding that 20 number and start getting into the gap close at 51, getting into that weekly pivot at 58 or so, getting into that sort of number. Same thing on the NQ. What I'd be looking for is I want to see minimal trade below kind of 150 or so, but really, so minimal trade below kind of this level here, but really what I want to see is minimal trade below, more like 170. Get a gap up around 260 to 280, around these Tuesday highs, whatever it is, the point of control, what is that? The point of control, that the March high from 2022, the weekly close, all that sort of crap around 261 to 274. I think there's a daily low somewhere in there as well. So I want to see us get up into this sort of area right here. I want to see a gap up to around this sort of area, hold the gap close to the downside, and then get a similar squeeze up to that weekly pivot at 342. So in terms of trading this, how am I looking at it? Let's start off with the ES. Ignore that one down there. I'm mostly just focused on this over here. I want to be long 05s after tag of settlement lows, which are at 03 half. I want to be long 17s if the IB is over 44.10 and if we've already ran the overnight low. So I want to be long there if I can play that IB statistic where we break one side, and especially if the overnight low has already been ran during the IB, it would be leaning the statistics in our favor of getting that move upwards to 35 or so. Other than that, looking for a gap up long at 22s after a tag of 17 or 18 around there. To the upside, I still want to be short 58s after a tag of 61s, and yes, I do want to be short 72s. I'm looking to short this thing. I think it won't be just a linear ramp. Most of our days are coming in at 30 points, so even if we do close this gap, that'd be about 36 points, which seems reasonable, and that would be 50 points, which seems like quite the extension on a session. Over on the NQ, I want to be long 10s after a tag of settlement lows at 02s, so same idea as a yes. And then I want to be long at the VWAP close and point of control right around 17s. Above there, I want to be long the gap close at 218s or 213s, that being right around settlement highs as well, right around the weekly open, right around the 4 p.m. close, all that sort of crap hanging around this 210 to 220 area. Above there, I do want to be long after a run of this overnight high here at 73s. I do want to be short there, and I do want to be short at that 95% 2022 yearly value area high sitting at 342s and one last attempt at 377s if we have not developed some sort of safety mechanism telling me to avoid a mean reversion trade, whether that's double single prints, whether that's POC shifts failing, whatever it is. So in general, as long as the overnight is able to sustain this sort of upward momentum, or maybe a better term is a lack of downward momentum, I'm looking for some Friday lift. We do have news, I think something minor in the morning. What is it? Yeah, flash PMI at 9:45, so probably looking at a quieter first half of a period, and then we can get going with the day. Quite a bit for you guys. I've had pre-workout, if you can't tell. Hope that helps. I'm sure this is subject to a lot of trade as the market's only been closed for 45 minutes and we've got 12 hours of trading ahead of us. So that'll be posted to Twitter in the morning once the updates are there. Have a great night. Trade safe, you guys.